We start with the opposition National Democratic Congress because they have condemned the arrest of Member of Parliament for Assin South Collins Daa, stating that the reasons provided by the police for his arrest lacks merit. The police detained Mr. Daa in connection with a recent disturbance during the limited voter registration exercise at Kokum in the Volta Region, where one individual was arrested and subsequently hospitalized. Preliminary investigations by the police implicated Collins Daa in the arrest that disrupted the registration process on Saturday, 11th of May. However, a press release issued earlier today and signed by the NDC's Communications Director, Sami Jamfi, says the party vehemently denies the accusations leveled against Mr. Daa. We'll hear from the party shortly. First, on your screens now is the statement released by the police, and it reads, the Ghana Police Service has arrested Member of Parliament for Assin South, Alhaji Collins Daa, for his alleged involvement in the disturbances which occurred at Kokum in the Volta Region during the ongoing limited voter registration exercise on Saturday, 11th of May. One person sustained an injury as well as they are currently receiving treatment at the hospital. The police are in pursuit of other suspects in connection with the incident. Well, we can now hear from the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa, who says the police arrest of Collins Daa was mischievous.
Well, that statement from the police was mischievous because it was also erroneous, and I see it as a calculated attempt to cover up for the Edijamain situation, which is very, very scary and unappetizing to watch.
Clarify for me. So you are suggesting the police was being mischievous by arresting Collins Daa. Is that what you're saying?
Because the police knew and collaborated that in their statements. When the whole town was attacked by bandits allegedly sponsored by the MPP, the police knew. How can you see somebody's car and say that because you've seen his car, he should produce the guys or the young men who came in their police at a place where your own police could not? And I'm saying that, why are the police not interested in arresting the young men who took over the whole town to ransom? Didn't they know their name? Couldn't they arrest him? They saw Collins Daa's car and are accusing him of being involved. That is not his constituency in the first place. He wasn't there in the second place. You saw his car. Then you put it in public, centralizing your statement or that issue on the Member of Parliament who was not at the scene.
While still on the limited voter registration exercise, the Ghana Police Service has also interdicted 3 police personnel for their failure to perform their duty professionally during the registration exercise in the Ashanti region. On your screens now is a statement released by the police service, and it says the Ghana Police Service has interdicted 3 police personnel with immediate effect over their failure to perform their duty professionally in the ongoing limited voter registration exercise. Next slide. The affected policemen, Inspector Michael Addo and Eric Boachi, as well as Michael Jan, on the 11th of May 2024, failed to perform in a proper manner a duty imposed on them as officers in charge of security at the Electoral Commission office at Edujaman in the Ashanti region. And when some persons attempted to disrupt the ongoing limited voter registration exercise, that's when this happened. The interdicted personnel will be taken through the due disciplinary process of the police service. Away from politics now, let's do some other stories. The trial of Fix the Country activist Oliver Barker-Vormawor for treason have yet again failed to commence. Well, the trial was expected to commence this morning at the High Court 2 years after the charges were preferred. Oliver Barker-Vormawor was arrested in February 2022 for making a post the state deemed treasonable on social media. Latif Idrisu was on court. He joins me now live with more. Latif, this case has dragged for 2 years. Why?
Well, you know, it has to do with the court process. And essentially, that is why the court case has delayed. It's been 2 years, like you mentioned. The case has been adjourned before. There was an expected date earlier that didn't happen. And then today, I mean, Oliver Barker-Vormawor was very hopeful. In fact, on his social media platform on X, he went there yesterday and rallied his supporters to come over in their numbers to support him as he goes into trial today. But unfortunately, the trial didn't take place. Why? Because the sitting judge, we understand, has been assigned by the Chief Justice. So she is currently on a training program. We don't know if it's within the jurisdiction or outside the jurisdiction. What we know is that she is outside taking up a training program, and that is why the court didn't sit today. So there was no sitting at the High Court today. So what's the next time we'll be hearing this case? So the case has been adjourned to May the 20th of this year. And if you recall, Barker-Vormawor's, his lawyers have filed to the court asking for jurisdiction. They say that the High Court has no jurisdiction over the matter, and so they want it to be referred over to the Supreme Court. They deem it fit that the Supreme Court is the one that has the jurisdiction to sit on this particular case. So on the next agenda, which is the 20th of this month, the expectation is that the High Court will make a determination on that particular jurisdiction, whether or not it has the territorial jurisdiction to hear the matter, or it will refer it to the Supreme Court. If it has the jurisdiction, then it means trial is expected to commence on the 20th of May. But did he even appear in court today? What was his posture? Yeah, he was in court. If you saw on TV right now. Oh, okay. So that's him with his bag. Wearing that blue suit. And so he was in court with his supporters. Some of them were lining up the street in front of the High Court complex and somewhere within the court complex as well. So they were there in their numbers, and he was confident, he was calm, and he's hoping that this case is going nowhere. He feels, someone is just trying to get one at him, but whoever it is will not succeed. So he's very confident that this is going nowhere. Thank you so much, Latif Idris is a member of our legal desk here at JoyNews. Well, the Asantehene Otumfuose Tutu II has cautioned government and political actors to stay vigilant against activities that may disrupt the fairness of the 2024 general election. According to the Asantehene, the country's past experiences with election must be a lesson to continue upholding the peace and stability devoid of violence. While marking his 25th anniversary celebration, the Asantehene served notice to stakeholders to safeguard the integrity of the electoral process. Nana Wachi Yadum has a wrap from the climax of the Silver Jubilee celebration.
Akwasidae Festival is being celebrated by the Ashantis every 6 weeks. That is according to the Ashanti calendar. But it is the prerogative of the Asantehene to determine which Akwasidae he would call the Adai Kese. Well, he calls today the Adai Kese, the day he is celebrating his 25th anniversary. Dignitaries from across the world joined the Asantehene Otumfuose Tutu II to celebrate his 25th anniversary here at Jabrim at the Menshia Palace.
Your Royal Majesty, you have consistently emphasized your commitment to the fraternal ties that link Trinidad and Tobago to Ghana. Your leadership has stimulated increased collaboration between our countries, which offer mutually beneficial trade and economic opportunities to aid in a mutual development.
Even celebrating his 25th anniversary, the Asantehene has sent a word of caution to political actors.
This year is another election year. Our political leaders are already on the campaign trail, and there's yet many months of intense and combative campaigning ahead. After all our past experiences, I remain sanguine that our democracy is safe. Nonetheless, we need to remind ourselves that we cannot take things for granted, and we must be alert to avoid anything that has the potential to derail the electoral process. People need the right environment in which they can make informed choices in the interest of the nation. May we forever drink from the fountain of peace and may our efforts in the years ahead be crowned with the grace of the living God.
Today, the Sekeja Kofi is out. The golden stool of the Ashanti Kingdom is out. Dignitaries from across the world joined the Asante to celebrate the Silver Jubilee. His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, with the Vice President and other government functionaries also joined the celebration.
I think his greatest legacy and achievement on the occasion of this Silver Jubilee of his ascension to the golden stool, in my respectful view, is the resolution of the crisis in Dagbon and the role he played, the fortitude, the tenacity, and the wisdom and courage with which he brought to bear. I think is highly commendable, and that's why we are all here to celebrate him and to salute him.
For President Akufo-Addo, the Asante has shown loyalty to the Ashanti Kingdom and Ghana at large.
I was present at Kumasi Sports Stadium on that day when, with a state sword in his hand and his kutukuni cloth wrapped around his waist, Bama Kwakudia swore to uphold the traditions and paths charted by his 15 predecessors and to continue to make Asante a model traditional state in our country. By all accounts, he has lived and continues to live up to this noble undertaking. For a quarter of a century, the Otumfuo II has served as a symbol of unity, progress, and tradition for the Asante Kingdom, and indeed for the entire nation of Ghana.
The Adekese brings us to the end of the first and second session of the 25th anniversary celebration of the Asante Otumfuo II. Well, in November, we'll be having the third session, which will climax the entire anniversary celebration. For Joy News, my name is Nana Boachidankwa Yadom, Kumasi.
Let's head now to the Volta region, where torrential rainfall in various parts of the nation has severely impacted the infrastructure of Unlaw Senior High School in the Volta region. Already grappling with inadequate facilities, the school resorted to using a makeshift dining hall and kitchen. However, the recent heavy rains, accompanied by powerful winds, ripped off the roofings of crucial buildings on campus. The headmaster and students are appealing for assistance to address the dire situation. There's more in this report.
The Unlaw Senior High School has thousands of students facing acute infrastructural challenges, with many of the buildings decades old and in dire need of urgent renovation. The recent rainfall has caused an even greater damage to the existing facilities, as headmaster of the school, Wisdom Kwame Adeti, tells the news team.
Currently, we have a windy rainstorm that has caused a lot of devastation to the structures I have in the school. Currently, my ICT lab, physics lab, agric, visual art, assembly shed, and other buildings have been ripped off. The most serious one is my kitchen. The kitchen and the temporary dining hall built for the school since 2012. For the fact that the actual dining hall being built for us since 2012 has not been completed. And when we had a rainstorm, the kitchen and the dining hall have been totally destroyed. As we speak, my kitchen staff cook under the vagaries of the weather.
The headmaster is appealing to government to complete an abandoned dining hall, which construction started in 2012.
The dining hall complex that is being built from the school since 2012 should be completed. The moment it's completed, we have a kitchen apartment in it, store everything, so that the kitchen women can move there and cook for my students. So that is a plea I would like to make. 2 dining hall, 2 girls' dormitory blocks have also been ripped off, and I've been able to roof it since we are in a rainy season. If I don't pay urgent attention to that, the students will be in the rain, which will not augur well for the school.
Students of the school are worst affected as they make most use of these facilities. Some prefects have been making an urgent appeal for help.
Our kitchen, and the last time we had a downpour, this is the situation right now. The kitchen is down, and our ICT lab, and our chemistry, the physics lab. Seriously, the rain has caused a lot of damages, and We are appealing to the government to come to our aid because the school authorities cannot do it alone. From roofing sheets down to furniture, everything. We need almost everything. When it comes to girls' hostel right now, we have new hostel, but we don't have washrooms. Right now, about 800 plus girls, boarders, are suffering from one pit. Because of this, some of our girls had to go out just to ease themselves. We are really suffering. As you can see, our dining hall has been ripped off by the wind. And also, we don't have an assignment shed and hostels as well. We expect the government to respond to our need as quickly as possible.
The District Chief Executive Officer of Angloga described the situation as catastrophic, a situation the budget of his assembly cannot deal with.
There was a rain, but at the end the rain came with a rainstorm. So after the rain, we went out to see them damage. But when we went out, it's not easy. I didn't see that thing in my life before, especially our public schools. When you go to Volta School, it's a newly, one of the new secondary school in my district here. At the end, the roof of all their buildings where they are having class is not there. And when you go to Unlaw Secondary School also, the same thing. And other public schools, especially if we go to Koji, Alakple, Angloga itself, Agove, Akplautoko.
MP for the area, Richard Mustafa, has already moved in to help, but he needs more help to completely deal with the damages caused by the rainfall.
My rounds this morning points to the fact that still, because of today's rain itself, has caused more havoc, adding to the already precarious nature. How things are unfolding means that the assembly and my good self cannot just shoulder the problem. I know NADMO went around, picked the data, and they sent the data to Ho and Accra. For now, my plea is that government should help NADMO to supply a few bundles of roofing sheets and nails so that those individual people can also get some support.
When the news team visited, it was still raining, compounding the already precarious situation. The plea of students and authorities is to government: come to our aid urgently, or as the rain set in and intensify, there will be more damage.
Well, MP for Unlaw Richard Mustafa says the problem is more widespread as 2,400 people have been affected by the floods. He spoke to us on News Desk.
We have about 2,400 individuals affected, which is made up of about 644 households. Out of this, 27 institutions like basic schools as well as senior high schools were affected. The 7 of them, the 7 second cycle institutions that we have were affected. But 2 of these public senior high schools, that's Unlaw Senior High, as well as Volta Senior High School, were worse hit. Unlaw Senior High School, as you have shown to the public, they were having the challenge at their kitchen department. In 2012, government through the Debt Fund started the expansion project of the then existing dining hall so that they can accommodate more of the students during dining session. Unfortunately, from that time to date, the building is about, to my estimation, about 85–90% complete. What is left with the fittings, the louvers, painting, and few other things for the school, the dining section of the school, to run to its fullest capacity. I am of the view that if nothing is done at all, when Parliament is called, I would like to meet the minister or to pose an urgent question as to what we can do to appeal to the contractor to come to site. Because if you come to the school now, it's a sorry situation. Already, most of the schools within my constituency are lacking basic amenities.
Let's do some other stories now. In a heartfelt response to the often overlooked needs of elderly residents in nursing homes, some students of the International School of Accra are embarking on a project to ease the plight of residents at the Passion Home for the Elderly. My colleague Esther Nkrumah interacted with some of the students and comes through with this report.
The elderly often face neglect and abandonment in nursing homes, lacking little or no support from their families. To address this issue, students from the International School of Accra are embarking on a project to assist the residents of the Passion Home for the Elderly as part of a requirement in their IB diploma curriculum. Jane Anderson is the assistant CAS coordinator for the school. She sheds more light on the program.
CAS is a core aspect of the IB diploma program where students are encouraged or required to partake in an activity or a service. So it's actually interwoven. It's creativity, activity, service. So the students come up with creative ways to help the society. They also engage in certain activities and also render a service to society.
The students share with me why they decided to help the elderly for their project.
We had a number of project ideas. There was quite a whole list of them. And then it came down to the CAS executives to decide which one we thought was going to make the greatest impact on people's lives. So we decided, okay, why not just visit this elderly home? It doesn't make a difference. It's just going to be to see what they do and see how it would be like if we helped them. So we went, they were very lively, they were chatty. It was just such an awesome experience overall. And it just informed us, okay, this could be our grandparents, this could be our parents. So what stops us from helping them? Because the people in this elderly home, Passion Home Care, which is an Adenta, they suffer from various illnesses, both mental and physical. There's patients with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, stroke patients. So they decided, okay, these people need our help and they don't get that much support. So decided to help them out and try our best to make an impact in their lives.
That's very beautiful, making impact in the life of the elderly. Most times, people drop their parents, grandparents at the home for the elderly and they're often neglected. And it's a very beautiful idea that you're embarking on this project to help them. So is there a specific amount you're looking to raise from this project? I would like the financial secretary to answer that.
We have been able to raise about 2,000 Ghana cedis and through Snack Day sales and also the Valentine's Day sales. And our target is at least 10,000 Ghana cedis, and meaning that we are still far from our target. That's why we are soliciting for funds from everybody, workers and teachers and also companies that are attached to support us to make it a success.
Thank you. So during that, apart from the financial support, what other support are you looking to receive from the public?
Okay, so we're looking for toiletries such as adult diapers, disinfectant, soaps, tissues. We're also looking for medical supplies such as vitamins and medications. Also entertainments for them such as board games, cards, and anything.
So for those listening right now and are looking to support this project, how can they reach out to you? How can they support? Ama?
So for any support in forms of monetary donations, you can send it to 020-840-6717 or 024-258-6062. Any donations can be dropped off as a campus inside Jack and Joe at Roman Ridge or at the Joy FM or JoyNews front desk. And we are appealing to people from all walks of life, individuals, companies, medical professionals, parents, teachers, anyone who is touched by our project to support us.
Don't miss out on this opportunity to bring smiles on the faces of residents at Passion Care Home. Esther Nkrumah's report for JoyNews.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the business segment on JoyNews Today with me, Pius Kojo-Baka. As part of its corporate social responsibility, Wilma Africa has donated A-Life and Jama soap brands to some mothers at the police hospital here in Accra under its Maamimo campaign. Speaking to Joy Business, branch manager for personal and home care categories at Wilma, Mami Ajua Markin, explained that the Maamimo campaign was instituted to coincide with Mother's Day while honoring and encouraging new mothers. Here's some reports.
Mother's Day is an annual event celebrated on the second Sunday in May. Mother's Day recognizes mothers, motherhood, and maternal bonds in general, as well as their positive contributions to their families and society. To mark this year's Mother's Day celebration, A-Life and Jama soap brands of Wilma Africa visited the maternity and children wards of the police hospital in Accra. Here is branch manager for personal and home care categories at Wilma, Mami Ajua Markin.
So today being Mother's Day, we know mothers play a pivotal role in the family. We are here to celebrate all mothers at the police hospital and Confanochi Teaching Hospital. We are here to celebrate them because this is Mother's Day. They are the joy, they bring warmth, they nurture us, they care for us, they ensure that we are always clean, we are always doing well in school. So with these new moms that are in the hospital, we are here to tell them that, you know, you have a wonderful journey ahead of you. Use our life, use our Jama, ensure that you are always clean, the baby is always clean, your clothes are always clean, the home is always clean. We are here for you and to honor them as well.
Gospel musician Ohima Mercy, after serenading the mothers, encouraged women to persevere in all endeavors.
We actually came to meet an unfortunate situation where somebody gave birth, I think two. They gave birth and then they left their kids. And it's so unfortunate. I just want to speak to mothers. I know it's very hard, especially giving birth and taking care of them. But the most precious thing is that you believing in God and knowing that with God all things are possible, standing firm, taking care of your kids, growing and seeing them becoming good and prominent people is the best. So please, as we are celebrating Mother's Day, I'm here to encourage all mothers to stand, no matter how hard it is. Don't run away from your kids. Stand and make sure they become great people, and I believe it's going to be a benefit to your life.
Supervisor of the maternity ward of the police hospital, Superintendent Elizabeth Yosin, expressed her gratitude for Wilma Africa's kind gesture.
On behalf of our medical director, the nursing director, and then my colleagues, and even the patients in our hands of this formation, we say a very big thank you to Wilma Africa for your care, the love you have for us, wasting your time at this time to come and then wish our mothers a happy Mother's Day. We say a very big thank you. And again, we are saying that before the year ends, this will not be the last. You come again. We thank you so much. And may the good Lord bless you and order your footsteps wherever that you go.
Some stakeholders are calling for the removal of some taxes in the telecoms chain to make internet usage more affordable. According to Dr. Simon Peter Heto, lead consultant for UNESCO Internet Universality Indicators Project, this will enhance inclusivity and improve penetration. He made this statement at the launch of the dissemination of assessment of Ghana's internet. Here's more.
Report highlights the persistent digital inequalities that hinders Ghana's digital agenda. According to the report, while Ghana has strong laws on internet usage, there is lack of policies on free and open source softwares. Additionally, some software applications were found to be disability unfriendly. The report also recommends different charges for different internet users. Dr. Aheto, the lead research consultant for the UNESCO IUI project, stressed the need to remove some taxes to make internet access more affordable.
I think one of the things that we can do is, first of all, to get taxes dropped on some of these things and to also make it open and affordable. So I mentioned open places. How many open places can you easily connect to the internet and all that. So some of the things that we can also do is to as well engage ourselves.
He shares some insights on the report.
We are also now aware that we don't have some policies like free and open source software policies, which we really need to work on, and also policy on OERs. When I talk about OERs, we are talking about open educational resources. We need to work on some of these things. And during the data collection, we also realized that our cell sites at that time were really dominant when it comes to the commercial areas. And at the residential areas, we did not really have much. But we hear that this has improved.
Apollonius Asari, Chief Programs Officer at UNESCO, called on policymakers to leverage emerging technology to champion socio-economic development.
Our collective efforts emphasize the synergy required to address the complex challenges of digital access and literacy. Together, we must adopt strategies that will not only bridge the digital divide, but also propel Ghana towards a future where information and communication technology is a driving force for development.
Thanks for watching Business with me, Pius Kojo Baka. Sports is next.